Bada bing, bada boom. You know what it is. Guillotine Geeks back in your life. We're here, baby. UFC 285, breaking it down. Picks and predictions every single fight from the bottom to the top. We're going to start with the prelims first. Let's get right after this. We got a late replacement. PFL finalist, formerly Loic Radzhabov. Butchered it. Forgive me. He's 16-4-1. This guy's seasoned. He's coming out against Contender Series contract winner, making his UFC debut, Esteban Ribovics, 11-0 with 11 finishes. This guy Esteban is fucking good, bro. He comes out to bang. He's not here to get to the judges' scorecards. Couple of points of concern. Loic's never been knocked out. Ribovics only knows how to win by ending his opponents inside the distance. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that first round pans out. I see a lot of people riding Loic just because they're like, oh, Ribovics, Contender Series fade. He's not getting the early knockout. He's going to get dragged into late waters. I mean, I could see it happening easily. But Esteban Ribovics, top 3 on my Contender Series list from last season coming into the UFC. And I think that he's going to be able to put it on him for 3 rounds. I think that even if he can't put him away, he'll have enough gas to at least win 2 rounds. I'm really high on this guy, Esteban Ribovics. I think he's going to win this fight. Good underdog price to start us off. That's where I'm feeling it. Goosey, what's your take? First fight of the night.
Yeah, so off rip, short notice. You don't love that for Loic. Esteban Ribovics, very dangerous early. We haven't seen him tested too much. All right, Loic, more tested guy, never been knocked out. It seems like he will be able to kind of withstand those early barrages. And then I go to Loic's Instagram. All right, not a big stat breakdown here, but February 18th, I miss fighting so much. I've been waiting more than a year and I'm hungry and ready anytime, anywhere. Doesn't matter. Give me a fight. This guy's ready to roll. He's locked in, and I'm going to pick Loic in this one. Save you guys the breakdown.
Save the breakdown. Loic, tons more experience. Dano, what do you got?
I'm torn between this one. I really don't have an opinion, but I'm gonna put my pick in under 2.5. I think both these guys could get it done. Both these guys I could see going out just because the other guy's so high level. I think both of them, like Goose was saying, spark plugs. Both of them got a lot of pop, it seems. So I'm just gonna ride with my pick being the under 2.5.
Fair enough. Fish, what do you got?
Yeah, so Loic, like you guys said, seasoned vet, PFL, comes under the Contender Series. No. I'm talking about other homie from Argentina. So Esteban El Gringo. So he comes out the Contender Series win. I like him, but I don't know if he could get out of the first. I mean, I think Loic might just be able to. I'm kind of liking what Goose is thinking, but I like the age difference with picking El Gringo. But man, it's like, do I just go with the vet, or do I go with this young cat that's just going to come out and let everything fly? I like both in this case, but I think I'm just going to ride with Esteban. I'm going to ride with the young cat.
El Gringo's a fire nickname too.
El Gringo.
That is a fire nickname, and we're going to hope that he can find a way to win this fight. Maybe he can get a finish inside. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting one. Excited to see Loic in the UFC. Really get to, level out those PFL UFC, wherever they're at, the talent levels per se. Let's move into the next one. We have got one of the Basharat twins, Farid Basharat, 9-0, coming out against Damon Blackshear, 12-4-1. This fight's at 135 pounds, bantamweight. Damon Blackshear's a beast, bro. No cap. He's extremely athletic. Guy's got fucking power in his hands, just raw power. Really good prospect. Where I do have my worries about Damon Blackshear is his ring IQ. His his decision making is definitely something that's in the air. He can definitely have nights where he comes and puts it all together, and this guy can look like a world beater. But I'm gonna ride with Farid Basharat just because I do want to say that they're both around the same talent level, but I think that Farid Basharat's got a higher ceiling, and his technique and just his overall fight IQ is just, I think way ahead of Damon. So I think that when this fight comes down to it, it'll be close. No blowout on either side, but just the small moments, the scrambles, the decision making that's gonna, really push this fight to the favor of one side. It's gonna be on Farid Basharat's side. I think he's just gonna end up in the right positions and just, outstrike him on the feet, just maybe by the numbers, just putting it on him, volume. So give me Farid Basharat in a close decision here because Damon Blackshear is no walkover. Let's go Dano first on this one.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm taking Basharat here, and I like the decision pick. I could see it being inside distance just because Farid is, just so tricky with what he does on the feet or on the ground. But Blackshear is durable, and he's got a little bit of pop himself, and he's got pretty good technique. So my overall pick's gonna be with Farid Basharat, and I also do like decision.
Yeah, a little over 2.5 tech. Fishman, what's your rundown?
I am picking Farid Basharat because I think he could just I think his grappling is a little bit better. I think he's like you said, more technical. He's a little bit smarter in there and can just he knows how to stay out of trouble. He doesn't get hit too much. And I'm looking at your boy Damon Blackshear. He's got an L to Danny Sabatello. So we know what that kind of fight is like, what kind of pressure Sabatello's working with. So I feel like Basharat, not that he's like Sabatello like, but I see him getting on top and just holding him there if he needs to, getting a decision, but also he has the sub threat. But yeah, I'm riding with Basharat.
Goosey, we got.
As Marty Huggins said, bring your brooms, because it's a mess.
And bring your brooms, because it's a mess.
And we're sweeping, fellas. I am going to pick the Basharat, bro. I think that in the first round, this fight will be highly competitive. Rounds 2 and 3 is where I expect Farid to start to take over. Both of these dudes can go out, scrap on the feet, on the ground. I think Blackshear's strength a little bit is in his wrestling. He's got good hands, but he's going to be trying to get takedowns. Basharat, he'll be stuffing takedowns, giving him the business on the feet. They'll be going back and forth. In Blackshear's last fight, he really gassed out to the point he got a 10-8. He got 10-8'd in the third round and got a draw. Basharat's got a very good gas tank. I don't see him slowing down over 3 rounds, and I definitely see him winning the last 2. If he wins the first, 30-27. If he gives it up, I think it's still 29-28 decision for Farid Basharat.
Let's go. We got the sweep on Farid. Looking at the line, he comes out at a pretty big favorite, minus 525, which I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Little hefty. So play your cards right, boys. We're moving into the next one. This is Tabitha Ritchie, 7-1 baby shark, coming out against Jessica Penne, 14-6. I'm taking Tabitha Ritchie. Jessica Penne is good though. I mean, she's good. You can't look at this fight and confidently, like with all your heart, be like, this girl's gonna win. Jessica Penne, 40 years old, seasoned vet. She could pull anything out. She's good everywhere, not great anywhere. Tabitha Ritchie, she's like the new prospect coming up. Attractive girl, baby shark. I mean, she's definitely gonna, they're definitely setting the stage for her to make a little bit of a pop. All right. This is a chick that definitely can gain some followers, definitely get some clout, run up some numbers on some cards. So I think that, they're putting Tabitha Ritchie in a good spot here to get a good win against a good seasoned opponent in Jessica Penne. But I will not be surprised at all if anything else happens in this fight. But give me Tabitha Ritchie decision, just a little bit better with the grappling and the pressure against the fence and that kind of stuff. But like I said, Jessica Penne is a wild card, so don't at me on that one. Fishman, what is your take?
I'm riding with Baby Shark as well. It's just hard for me to pick Penne. I like her, but it's just a 12-year age gap. She's 40. This girl's 28. So, it's just hard for me to ride with that. So I'm gonna go with Tabitha Ritchie. But yeah, decision probably sounds good. I'm liking that.
Yeah, for the dudes, the age difference definitely just like hits me different. Like I just don't know if Flority's like that bad for this chick right now. But Dana, what do you got?
I'm with you guys. Everything in my mind stacking in Richie's favor with the age gap. Richie's riding a lot of momentum right now, and I do believe the UFC really wants her to win this one. She does have a little bit of a following behind her with the baby shark going on, and overall she's been looking better fight to fight. So for me, it's an easy pick. Going to be Tabitha Richie, whether you want to play inside or not, or a decision that's up to you. But I think Richie is the pick.
Definitely getting better every time out. Goose.
Sweep times 2. We're all going Richie. Yeah, this fight was originally made last October. Penne pulled out. The UFC said you're not getting out of this one. Richie, we're gonna give her the matchup. She was a lesser favorite. A lot of money came in on her. Vegas righted that wrong. She's a pretty decent favorite in this one. She's got 45% takedown accuracy. Penne, on the other hand, 40% takedown defense. You do the math at home. I'm sensing a lot of takedowns and a lot of ground control. Richie's the pick.
No, you do the math. Let's move to the next one. Another bantamweight scrap. We got Maynard Martinez. He's 10-3. He's coming out against Cameron Saman, 7-0. We just saw Cameron Saman not too long ago. I think it was against like Steven Kozlau. Interesting fight because it was very competitive until Cameron Saman landed an illegal knee that definitely changed that fight, and nobody talks about that. Steven Kozlau was definitely starting to get a hold of him. The fight, I'm not saying he was winning it, but I mean, you could definitely see where he was like getting into advantageous positions. And that knee changed it. So I'm not sure how. Cameron Saman, definitely a great prospect, super young, coming up. I got a lot of a lot of hope. I think this kid's gonna be really good. But right now, he is a little green. He's a little green. And when I'm saying that, I mean on the feet. He's very elusive. He hits shots he young guys really don't think about hitting, spinning elbows and that kind of shit. But in this fight, I don't think he's going to be able to kind of get those takedowns off. I think Steven Kozlau was kind of allowing the fight to go to the mat and thinking that he was going to, maybe be able to sway it, maybe get a sub or something. Maynard Martinez is coming in there and he's going to be full on halt these takedowns. Let's stand on the feet. And I think Maynard Martinez just is going to be a little bit more seasoned than Cameron Saman. So I think Maynard Martinez is going to rough out a tough decision in this fight. And it hurts me to say because Cameron Saman is definitely one of my favorite guys. One of my favorite prospects coming up. So that's my pick. I'm going to take Maynard Martinez, and I think he's going to win by decision. What is your take, Goose?
This fight's very interesting for me because to this point, the South African chin has held up very well in the UFC. All right. I'm not willing to say it's as good as the Mexicano chin, which is very tried and true over a long period of time. But Dricus has come in, eaten some shots. Cameron Saman, same thing. That will be put to the test in this because Maynard Martinez can crack. All right. And we've seen him gas a little bit. All right. And we've also seen him get held down against Ronnie Lawrence. I don't think that Simon will be able to hold him down early. All right. He will have to eat a few shots. I'm going to say I don't think he's going to be able to eat those shots. I think that Maynard Martinez gets it done. But if Simon does get it done here, very, very impressive prospect moving forward. A 2000 baby. All right. Young guy. And I'm excited to watch this fight for sure. But I'm going to pick Maynard Martinez to have just a little bit more crispness on the feet and be a little bit more slick out there.
Fish.
I'm riding with Mana Martinez as well. I just feel like this is going to be his first L. I'm talking about Cameron right here. I think he's going to take the L. I like Mana. One thing that is questionable is the whole James Krause shtick, and he had to leave his gym and all that. So, but yeah, this kid Cameron, like Goose said, if he could go through Martinez and have a nice little war, prove his chin is there, and that'll be an impressive win. But give me the dog in Martinez. He's at about 250 plus 255, so I'm liking that.
Yeah, that's value. Dana, what do you got?
I'm going with the irrelevant pick here. I'm riding with Cameron Saman, the South African. I think that him and Dricus are going to be super locked in on this card. We'll talk about Dricus later, of course, but I'm going to ride with Cameron just because, like you guys are saying, he is young, he is green, but in his post-fight interview, last fight against Kozlov, he was saying he knows he's got to work on some stuff, and that's right where he's going back to the gym to work on it. Mana Martinez, I feel like he's the type of guy where if you are improving, you can kind of pick apart Mana Martinez. I know he's got some power. I know he's slick with his hands, but when he was on the Contender Series, he lost via submission to the great Draco Rodriguez, who I believe Cameron's a little bit better than Draco, especially in the grappling department. So I'm gonna ride with Cameron Saman's submission. I think the bantamweight weight class is super electric, and you can always count on a finish at the 135 mark. And I'm just gonna hope it's Cameron in this one, and I'm gonna guess by submission.
Let's go. All right, let's move into the next fight. This is going to be a really good fight. This is a fight I've been looking forward to, almost my geek of the week. Ian Machado Gary, 10-0, coming out against Keenan Song, 19-6. I'm taking Ian Gary. I'm taking him by knockout. I think that they've been waiting to unleash this Keenan Song dude, and they finally found the perfect opportunity. They're like, biggest card of the year. This guy loves to get absolutely spark plugged in the first round. I mean, take it as you will. He got sparked by Ciryl Adesanya in the first with a head kick, and then his last time out by Max Griffin in the first round. So I think that this is lining up. He hasn't been in the octagon in 2 years. This is lining up to be an Ian Machado Gary highlight reel. And this kid just keeps getting better. He just keeps he keeps making the right decisions. I'm not a huge fan of his like personality per se, but I'm a huge fan of his decision making. He's in the right spot. He's training. He's taking the right path with the right guys around him. He's going to be looking a lot better. And he already looked so much better in his last fight. You know, I was thinking about fading him in his last fight against, I think it was Gabe Green. Man, did he prove me wrong. And I can't wait to see him fight in this fight. I have come full circle. I am now a big Ian Gary fan. So let's get this fucking show on the road, man. I think he's going to blast off. What's your take, Goosey?
I'm going to go with Ian Gary too. Pulling the stats up here. He's got 3 inches of height, 3 inches of reach. He likes to keep the fight at range with the kicks, long punches. And I do think one of them is going to put Kenan down. Kenan, his path, he isn't really getting a lot of takedowns. I don't even know if he's got one in the UFC. If it stays on the feet for him, might be a tough night. It's looking like it's going to. All right. If anyone's going to be able to mix it up, I think Ian Gary has passed to victory on the feet and on the ground. All right. He's showing a decent ground game and an improving one, I'm sure, at Kill Cliff. But I think a big right hand is where this one ends, probably round 1.
Dano, what do you got?
I'm all over Ian Gary in this fight. I like you were saying, CEO, I'm a big fan of Ian Gary. And his fight against Gabe Green, you'd always expect these high touted prospects to come in like I'm blanking, but high touted prospects, they come in, they get knockouts, they get submissions. Ian Gary, he went to a decision in his last fight, but he looked real good in it. It proved that he can keep those hands going 4-3 rounds. All 15 minutes he was going. The cardio is good, and you only got to imagine it's getting better, right? As Goose was saying, Kenan Song's not very, comfortable on the ground or doesn't really like going to the ground. And if he wants to stay on the feet, it's going to be a tough night for him. Ian Gary is super slick. I am a big fan of Gabe Green. Gabe Green was putting it on Ian Gary, staying in his face, and Gary was dealing with it pretty well. So I don't imagine it being any different here with Kenan Song. I as well am going with the knockout.
Front kick.
Give me Ian Gary. The boy's on he's starting to make his way, like you guys said. But yeah, I one thing that you said, CEO, that I found funny is just his personality. I find him a little cringy, but I'm riding them. I'm riding Ian Gary on this one. I think that Ian Gary is getting better in his career right now, and Keenan Song is he's getting a little older now, and he's gonna start to either plateau or start to decline. So give me Ian Gary.
Let's go. Training with Shavkat over there at Sanford, or they call it Killcliff now. Let's get into this next one. 185, a middleweight scrap between Julian Marquez, 9-3, and Marc-Andre Barriault, 14-6. I'm taking Marc-Andre Barriault. All right. This is just something I never could, I really thought I would never be in this position. But they're putting me in this position, man. I don't think Julian Marquez is committed. I know I've heard other people say it and stuff, but I mean, I've been all over this for a while. This guy's definitely a work in progress. That he just seems like he's always a work in progress. Like I just don't like when he steps in, I don't know, man. I don't feel like he's an all the way put together fighter. I think that Marc-Andre Barriault is fighting for his career at this point. His chin is always shaky, but Julian Marquez has really nothing on the feet that like blows me away. Like obviously he has power, but like his precision and landing strikes, I think Barriault thrives in these kind of brawls. So, if Barriault's got gas tank, I think he wins, but I can't pick Marquez, man. So yeah, this is a toss up. Definitely right in the middle on this, but I'm gonna go with Barriault because I don't trust Marquez. What do you got, Dano?
I'm on Barriault too. I think he's a tank of a guy, even though he does have quite a few losses. You don't love to see that. He did get sparked out by Chidi. But Chidi, got to give Chidi credit. He hits like a tank. So gotta trust in Barriault's chin here. And at first I was on Julian Marquez, and I remember thinking, yes, he did get knocked out by RoboCop. But I remember he was beating RoboCop up. He was landing strikes, and then he started to gas out, and that's when he got put out. So it's kind of respectable. And then I look back at it, and it was a round 1 finish from RoboCop. So what that tells me is even though, yes, he was putting it on RoboCop, he gassed out within a round. If you're going to do that to Barriault might not knock you out, but he might just stay in your face, push you up against the fence, sling you down for a takedown over and over again. And if you're gassing out in the first round in your last fight, it's going to be tough for me to put some trust in you. So with that being said, I'm going to go Barriault and just leave it at that.
Maybe he's getting some good conditioning with Kendra Lust, my boy. What you got, Front Kick?
My prediction for this fight is whoever's. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Whoever's fist touches the other guy's chin first is going to win. And I mean that just by, I feel like whoever gets off to a good start is going to win. And I think I don't really have a pick. I'm just going to go with the under on this one. I think someone's going to get smoked.
Let's go, Goosey. What do you got?
Yeah, so they have words for fights like these, and those that word is slobber knocker. All right, because these guys are going to be big, throwing bombs, and then very tired and sweaty, just grabbing a hold of each other, clinching up on the fence. And I think Marc-Andre Barriault plays that game a little better, and I think he wins this fight. Julian Marquez, a few things that I'm a little bit concerned about. I'm pretty sure he was in the Krause camp in Kansas City. All right, so right off the bat, we're changing things up. And then number 2, he's podcasting with Kendra Lust. All right, I think when it gets down to that, and I'm not knocking that move, but I think when you get down to the nitty gritty of the fight, you got to dig deep. I think Marc-Andre is going to be willing to dig a little bit deeper here. Marquez kind of has a good setup. All right. I think he's going to be a little bit tougher in there. And I think Marc-Andre has shown a little better gas tank. And as this fight goes on, we're going to start seeing the takedowns. And then Marquez is going to be breathing real heavy. And I think Barriault possibly gets the round 3 finish, but possibly a decision as well. So I'm going to go Marc-Andre Barriault.
Battle of the gas tanks in this one, if you ask me. Who came more conditioned to win this fight, I think is going to win. But we'll never know until Saturday night. Let's get into the next one. 125 pounds female boot. Viviane Araujo, 11-4 against Amanda Ribas, 10-3. I'm taking Ribas. I like her grappling. I think that looking at Viviane's last fight, she can get bullied, man. She really can. She's not the best at overcoming those height advantages, those reach advantages, like just those like small things that fighters go game plan and do a whole strategy around getting. Like it just seems like she can't effectively get off her game plan in a lot of fights. And I think this is going to be another example of that. I think that if she goes for takedowns, she's in Ribas's world. I think that if she tries to strike, she's going to be, entering the pocket with no caution. Like she's a scrapper, she's a brawler, she's really good. But I just think that Amanda Ribas is going to pose too many threats, too many problems, too many advantages in this fight. So give me Amanda Ribas, and I'm not too confident. What do you got, Dano?
I'm on Ribas too, but what I'm more confident in is the over 2.5. And of course, I could say that because if you look at the over 2.5 line, it's at like minus money, I believe, by quite a bit. So that's going to be tough to even bet that. But I am going to be siding with Ribas, and I am going to be guessing by decision. So you might as well put 2 and 2 together. Ribas over 2.5 sounds all right to me.
Goosey, what do you got?
Kind of leaving in Vivian here. I think that her striking, she brings a little bit more power on the feet. Ribas really relies on the takedowns at points to mix the game up. Araujo has a 90% takedown defense. I think if this one gets stuck on the feet, that Vivian is going to have the edge. UFC does kind of seem to be giving Ribas a little boost. I don't know if that would play itself on the cards because this is shaping up to be a pretty close decision, but I'm going to take Vivian in this one.
Yeah, these chicks get after it. Front kick, you go already?
No, I didn't. But I was gonna say, yeah, I liked Ribas. But the thing is, when she's on the feet, like she starts getting hit, and then I feel like she not gets frustrated, but she starts feeling like, oh, I'm losing, I'm gonna lose, kind of thing. She doesn't really have that. All right, let me do something about it. But because I've seen, but the Marina fight aged a little bit better. Marina's got the hands, but that was the fight I was talking about specifically. But yeah, these girls are actually pretty close on paper when you look at it. But yeah, I'm liking what Dano's thinking. I'm gonna go with the over, kind of like the fight before. I think Amanda is dangerous with the submissions. I think a little bit more dangerous than Viviane Araujo in this one. But yeah, give me the over. That's what I'm doing.
Let's go. We're moving to the next one. I'm really hyped for this one. We have got Derek Brunson, 23-8. This is a 185-pound fight, middleweight. Coming out against Dricus du Plessis, 18-2. Now, I think I'm going to shock a lot of people here, but I'm riding Brunson. And this is actually, in my mind, one of my most confident picks of this card. Because I'll tell you why. Because Derek Brunson coming out of his last fight, he won the first round against Cannonier, kind of started to gas out. All right. Cannonier took clear advantage of that. Brunson went back to the drawing board. Even in his post-fight, all he would talk about is, dude, I gassed. Dude, I'll never gas again. I'm going back. I'm coming back with gas. Dude, this is the perfect matchup for Derek Brunson to come back with a great gas tank in. He had the time off. He knew what he had to work on. He's going to pace Dricus du Plessis. He's going to put a veteran-style pace on Dricus, and we all saw it. Darren Till last fight, why was that so close? I know there's Darren Till fans and whatnot, but Darren Till isn't, let's be real here, Like, I think that Dricus gassed himself in that first round, and I think that Derek Brunson's going to show levels to the game, bro. I feel weird saying this, but I really think that Dricus is a little out of his element here. Derek Brunson's been up there competing against these high-level guys. Like, this is just a fight for it. He's going to come in and he's just going to lay a masterful game plan on this guy, Dricus. And I think Derek Brunson can get a late sub. You know how he does that shit. He drowns dudes. So I'm taking Derek Brunson round 3. Book it. What do you got, Goose?
See, I was going back and forth on this fight, and part of me was like visioning a Derek Brunson sub or like arm triangle, something where he was real dominant, getting on top. I think that the wrestling will give Dricus problems, but in a toss-up fight, which this is for me, I'm going to have to go with the 29-year-old guy getting into his prime, a little bit more dangerous on the feet, and then he has some submission, a lot of guillotines actually, which Brunson does like to throw his head down there, versus a 39-year-old Brunson who I think his best days are behind him. Obviously, blonde Brunson, always dangerous, mythical fighter, but I'm going to have to give the edge to Dricus in this one, and I think that if anyone's pushing the pace in the third round, it's probably going to be Dricus getting a late sub, but I don't know. This is going to be close. I'm going to pick Dricus.
77% of the people on Dricus. Dano, what do you got?
I'm very surprised at UCO. It was tough hearing you go all in on Brunson like that because I'm totally on the other side. I'm all in on Dricus, and I literally, as you were talking, I was just like, screw this. I'm going to look at Twitter. I can't hear this anymore. And who do I come across? I come across Brunson doing his pose that he does, and he has little legs, man. He's got little legs. He's 39 years old. He got injured before this fight. This is why this fight is on this card now. He should have been fighting earlier against somebody, maybe Jack Hermanson. Now
In
he's fighting
Orlando.
Dricus in Orlando. That's right. I think Dricus is going to come out, smack some leg kicks. I like what Goosey was saying about maybe a guillotine from Dricus. I just think this is totally in Dricus's favor. I believe Brunson is just kind of fading down the rankings, and Dricus, like we've been seeing, he's had all the momentum you can have right now. So I believe in Dricus in this one, and I don't mind a sub either. I would not mind even sprinkling a little bit on the sub line for Dricus.
Facts. Yeah, I got a lot of fate riding in this pick because I just like Brunson said he was gonna retire after the last, like if he didn't make the title run, and then he lost, and then he was like no, like one more time. So I'm just putting a lot of faith in the fact that he's really coming back this time, and I just don't think Dricus is like top 5, and I think Brunson is. But Fishman, what do you got, bro?
Riding Dricus Duplessis.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Oh man, yeah. So nah, man, like what Dana was saying, he's just on a streak. I love the improvements he's been making, and I think that Brunson's just getting a little old. The chin might not hold up once Duplessis cracks him a couple of times. That's my fear in this fight. I love Derek Brunson, what a dude, but fuck, man, I'm fading him.
Fuck, tough fight. Let's get into this last one. We got a minute 30 to do this. We got Cody Garbrandt versus Trevin Jones. RIP, my boy Cody Garbrandt. I love you, my dog, but you can't do this. Why do you keep doing this? Why do they keep giving him guys like this? Trevin Jones is not the dude, not the guy. Why? Kind of pisses me off. Trevin Jones knockout, round 2. Cody Garbrandt probably wins every second of the fight until he gets knocked the fuck out. That's what pisses me off about this matchup. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Fishman, what do you got?
Dude, I don't know. I don't like picking either of them, but I'm just gonna ride with Garbrandt.
Let's go. This should be a split. This should be a fucking split.
All right, I'm going next. I'm picking Cody, okay, because who's he fighting? Trevin Jones. He has 22 fights, 3 knockouts. I'm playing a numbers game. Cody's better. He's only got knocked out by real legit dudes. I'm picking Cody.
Dano.
I'm with Trevin Jones on this one. I could. A lot of people are on him by knockout. I don't love it, but I could definitely see him touching up Cody, especially with that expired chin that Cody's got. But what I do like is Trevin's wrestling. If things go south, shoot a takedown, kill some time, and hey, maybe even grab a sub. So I'm going Trevin Jones inside distance.
Let's go. Those are the picks predictions. You got it.